Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Toaru Majutsu no Index 3, Episode 4. This one we finally got back to actually, I'm thinking we didn't see Toma at all, yeah. Well, we got back to Academy City, focused mostly on Accelerator, and what's going on with all of these different groups in sort of the underbelly of Academy City. So this was really fun, really chaotic. Tons of stuff going on at one time. I've said it in previous episodes, but this episode especially, there was just a lot going on at one time. And I'm recording this really late, so sorry if my lighting's pretty off. But either way, when we started off the episode and I was just hearing Accelerator's voice doing the recap and everything, I'm like, is it 2011 again? It feels like 2011 again. But we start off with Tsuchimikado capturing some sketchy guy, and when they were saying Unabara, I was like, okay, so is this guy Unabara? But apparently that's what they were calling Etzali all this episode. I guess I don't know if that's a fake name or a real name, but I've only ever heard him called Etzali in the fandom. I've never heard anyone call him Unabara before. So that was confusing to me for the first few minutes, because I thought Unabara was totally a different guy. But Accelerator found Heaven Canceller, at least I'm pretty sure that's the doctor's name. Again, it's been a while. And he wants the schematics for the device around his neck, of course, because it kind of makes sense. He doesn't want that to be in anybody else's hands. What if something happens to the doctor? Then he's kind of screwed. The thing that keeps him going would be lost to the doctor or to whoever killed the doctor. But he needs that the schematic himself so that if worse comes to worst, he can control his own livelihood. Then we get to see this new Esper, and my reaction was immediately gone from watching this episode, yeah, nice and calm, to what the hell is going on? The guy just cuts the truck in half and takes the guy who I thought was Unabara, but just the sketchy guy that was captured. Then we have this attack on the place where Unabara is from this group of enemies, and Unabara Etzali cuts a chunk of one of them off to wear and impersonate, of course, because that's his ability, which is really messed up but also pretty cool. It's one of the more interesting ways that a character in anime can transform into others. Then we see that there's an assassination attempt for Monica, and I was like, no, I've only known her for basically an episode, but I don't want her to be assassinated. So Accelerator breaks up the speech, and he's like, yep, can't assassinate her anymore, speech is all broken up. And I thought that was actually kind of cool that he just broke up the speech rather than doing this big heroic thing and rushing in or blocking the bullet. He was just like, that's good enough, that works. Then we learned that the sniper is actually working for Kakine, who is part of a group called School, and we also get name drops for Member, Block, and Item, and I have no clue who Member or Block are, but I of course know Item from Railgun. Then we get to see Item again. I believe this was right after commercial break. We get to see Item again, and they have Hamazura with them, who of course we saw at the end of Index 2, but he never showed up in Railgun, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he was ever in Railgun. So basically, School had to hire a sniper for this assignment because Item took out their sniper as a warning before. So Mugino decides, oh well, they didn't follow our warning, let's go kill everybody that's a member of School. Then she deducts on their way there that School used the half-ass assassination to throw the security into confusion in order to go to this certain place, so that's where they're going to be able to find him. Outside of the place, while they're in there, Hamazura gets recognized by Yomikawa. They talk for a bit before a truck rushes by and Mugino runs out telling him to drive, basically. So Kakine was there, shit all hit the fan. I bet the Esper guy probably is dead. I'm assuming he just, it's a cool character, but I think this cool character just instantly got destroyed. I'm pretty sure Mugino killed the hell out of him. But Kakine was there apparently, and now Hamazura, Mugino, and Taikitsubo are chasing after the cargo. Which is important. And I think that Kakine himself was actually the one who had the cargo. So they go after that, then they're attacked by a girl from School, So they all split up after that. Hamazura gets chased by her but escapes, which was really funny. I'm really liking Hamazura. I've seen people comparing him to like the third Toma / Accelerator, and Hamazura is kind of like the third main character for Index, the tertiary main character. We see Kakine after escaping, though. He has something with a big, long, complicated name that I can't remember whatsoever, but he calls it the Tweezers. And he's going to use the Tweezers to get to Alistair, and then this is where things get a bit confusing. Unabara calls in, and he's from Block, and we have this meeting with the group and all that. So it would seem that Block is after the Satellite Control Center, so that's one objective. And another objective is this collection of viruses, and I think the collection of viruses is what Kakine is going at with the Tweezers that'll get him closer to Alistair or whatever. So it's also, again, another cool thing to note that Kakine, I'm not sure why he's going after Alistair, but if he's planning on like overthrowing Academy City for himself, that's a pretty cool villainous scheme in itself. So yeah, it was just a good episode once again, but there was a lot going on at once. There was a whole hell of a lot going on. The pacing is crazy fast too, which is both a good thing. Yeah, I think just in general it's a good thing. It gets to be at the point occasionally here and there where there's so much going on that I'm like, I kind of wish maybe they took it a little bit slower so I could keep up. But yeah, there's just a lot going on all at once. I like that we got to see a whole big span of characters here, though. That's something that I always talk about liking, and I always talk about liking when we jump around and get to see a bunch of different scenes and different settings, different characters. In a single episode. This maybe again took that a little bit too far, but in general I really liked it. I enjoyed seeing Accelerator's group again. I'd like to learn more about Musujime and Etsali and such, and Tsuchimikado's always been one of my favorite characters in the series, so it's always good to see him have an important thing to do. And I guess should note as well, I was going to say should note that he's back from Avignon, but then again, so is Accelerator. I forgot Accelerator was even there last time. But Toma, still MIA this episode. We got to see Misaka, we got to see Last Order, which was nice. So, yeah, just a bunch of reintroduction, too. There were a lot of lines where characters would like explain their powers or explain what they were doing, and I'm like, okay, this is totally just thrown in to remind us who they are because we haven't seen them in years. I think especially a lot of the members of Item were like that. But it was really nice seeing the members of Item again because I've always really liked them. So I'm excited to learn more about Hamazura. I know basically nothing about him, except that I think I remember him at the tail end of Index 2, and that's about it, really. Yeah, was there anything else I wanted to talk about here that I thought was particularly important? Yeah, I guess not really. I kind of got through most of it. I'm excited to see more of Kakine. He seems like he's going to be a cool antagonist kind of character. Especially if he's like an antagonist that also doesn't like the other antagonists. And I still have no idea who Member is whatsoever, so we can still have that coming, I guess. And I don't really know who Block is, but Unabara or Etsali is there. So I guess we're going to see more of them next episode. I'm trying to remember what was in the promo next episode. I think it was more science side stuff. I think it was more of like the item, group, school, etc. So we're going to continue on the storyline from this episode, and it doesn't look like we're going to jump right back to the magic side yet. So I'm excited to see some of that. Oh yeah, what's her name? Oh my god, Uiharu. Uiharu was in the promo for next episode, so I think we're going to get to see Misaka and Judgment again, which will be good, because I really like Uiharu and Kuroko a lot. But yeah, that's it. As a score, I think I would give it 8.5 groups named a group out of 10. I'm going 8.5 because I did think it was really, really good, but on the other hand, it was maybe a little bit too much in parts. It was like maybe jumping around a little bit too much, maybe a little too fast-paced, all of which are typically really good things in my opinion, but this was so fast-paced and jumped around so much that it was a little hard to keep up with sometimes, especially when they're throwing out these super, super long names for all the different devices and stuff. So, yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like if you did like it, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts and all that. Subscribe for more. Toaru Majutsu no Index. Tons of other anime, manga, light novel, stuff like that on the channel. Currently this anime season also covering Zombieland Saga and Tensei Shitara Slime Dataken. Plus, like I said, other manga, light novel, stuff like that. So, well, yeah, like and subscribe. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. Or I can talk to you there if you want. And if you want to talk about this series or anything else on the Discord server with us, it's free and open for anybody, and we just kind of hang out there and talk about whatever. So if you want a link to the Discord server, just ask and I'll give you one. Like I said, open for anyone. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.